Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I've got to tell you something absolutely wild right off the bat. The title of this video: World Cup 2026 Visa Controversy Explained in 15 Seconds. Well, that's just a little bit of a joke, isn't it? Because if you think for 1 second that we could unravel the absolute Gordian knot of immigration, international law, and logistical nightmares surrounding the 2026 World Cup visas in a mere quarter of a minute, then my friend, you are in for a seriously rude awakening. No. Today we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into what I honestly believe is going to be one of the biggest, most complex, and potentially most controversial aspects of the entire 2026 FIFA World Cup. The mind-boggling challenge of getting millions of fans, athletes, media, and support staff across not one, not two, but 3 international borders. We're talking about the United States, Canada, and Mexico, all trying to host the biggest sporting event on the planet simultaneously. And the visa situation is going to be an absolute minefield. So buckle up, because this is going to be a very long, very detailed, and hopefully very enlightening journey into the heart of a bureaucratic beast. The 2026 World Cup is monumental for so many reasons, isn't it? It's the first time 3 nations will share hosting duties. A truly unprecedented move that promised to be a celebration of North American unity and a spectacle unlike anything we've ever seen. But with that grand vision comes an equally grand challenge. One that I fear many people haven't fully grasped yet. How do you facilitate the free movement of millions of people when those people have to navigate 3 distinct and often very strict immigration systems? It's not just about buying a ticket to a game. It's about getting permission to even step foot in the country where that game is being played. And then potentially getting permission for 2 other countries as well. Let's start by painting the picture of the sheer scale we're talking about here. A typical World Cup attracts millions of visitors over the course of a month, with fans often following their teams from city to city. Now imagine that, but with the added layer of needing to cross international borders multiple times. We're not just talking about a few thousand dedicated fans. We're talking about an entire temporary migration of global citizens, all with varying nationalities, visa requirements, and travel itineraries, all converging on a continent with some of the most stringent entry regulations in the world. This isn't just a logistical puzzle, it's a global immigration experiment on an unprecedented scale. And I'm genuinely concerned about how it's all going to shake out. The core of the problem lies in the fact that the United States, Canada, and Mexico, while neighbors and trade partners, each maintain completely sovereign and independent immigration policies. There's no North American Schengen area, like we see in Europe, where a single visa can grant you access to multiple countries. Each nation has its own list of visa-exempt countries, its own application processes, its own fees, and its own often lengthy processing times. This means a fan from, say, Brazil, might need a separate visa for the US, a separate visa for Canada, and potentially even one for Mexico, if their team plays games in all 3 nations. Consider the US visa system, which is notoriously complex and often requires in-person interviews at embassies or consulates. For many nationalities, securing a B1, B2 visitor visa can take months, sometimes even over a year, depending on the demand and staffing levels at the local US embassy. Even for countries that are part of the visa waiver program, requiring an ESTA authorization, there's still a formal application and approval process. And it's not guaranteed. The US government is incredibly thorough. And for good reason. But that thoroughness doesn't always lend itself to rapid mass processing for a sporting event. Then we look at Canada, which also has a robust visa system. Many nationalities require a visitor visa. And while some visa-exempt countries can apply for an electronic travel authorization, or ETA, it's still a separate process from anything the US offers. Canada has its own security concerns and its own criteria for entry. And their system, while perhaps less frequently discussed than the US one, is no less serious. A fan hoping to catch games in Toronto and Seattle would need to navigate both Canadian and US immigration. A task that I imagine will be incredibly frustrating and time-consuming for many. And let's not forget Mexico, which for many nationalities is visa-free, but for others, still requires a formal visa application. While generally considered to have a more streamlined process than its northern neighbors, Mexico still has its own set of rules and regulations. A fan from a country that requires visas for all three nations could realistically be looking at 3 separate visa applications, 3 sets of fees, 3 potential interviews, and 3 different waiting periods, all just to follow their favorite team through the group stage. This is not a trivial undertaking, and it's a massive barrier to entry for a significant portion of the global football fan base. The dream scenario, of course, would be for the 3 host nations to implement a special, unified, World Cup visa, or a temporary visa waiver program that would allow easy movement between the 3 countries for the duration of the tournament. This would be a game changer, simplifying the process immensely and truly embodying the spirit of a tripartite host. However, the political realities and security concerns of each nation make such an agreement incredibly difficult to achieve. Each country is fiercely protective of its borders and national security, and surrendering even a temporary degree of control over who enters their territory is a monumental ask. I've been following the discussions, and while there's been talk about streamlining processes, I haven't seen any concrete commitments to a truly unified visa system. This tells me that the default position will likely be business as usual, meaning fans will be largely left to navigate the existing separate immigration systems. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a potential deterrent for millions of fans who might otherwise travel. Imagine saving up for years to attend the World Cup, only to be denied a visa for one of the host countries, or simply finding the application process too complex and expensive. It's a heartbreaking scenario that I genuinely worry will play out for many. Beyond the individual fan, think about the logistical nightmare for the teams themselves, their support staff, the media, and FIFA officials. While these groups typically receive expedited or special visas, it's still a massive administrative undertaking, ensuring that hundreds of players, coaches, medical staff, equipment managers, and their families, along with thousands of journalists and broadcasters, all have the correct documentation for 3 different countries, and can move freely between them, is an enormous task. One small bureaucratic hiccup could derail an entire team's travel plans or prevent critical equipment from reaching its destination. The economic implications of this visa conundrum are also enormous. The World Cup is a massive economic boon for host nations, bringing in billions of dollars in tourism revenue, hospitality, and local spending. If a significant portion of the global fan base is unable or unwilling to navigate the complex visa requirements, that's a direct hit to the economic upside that the host cities and countries are banking on. Hotels, restaurants, local businesses, and transportation providers all stand to lose out if the flow of international visitors is significantly hampered by bureaucratic red tape. Then there's the issue of security, which is always paramount for an event of this magnitude. Each country will want to ensure that every visitor is properly vetted and poses no security risk. This involves extensive background checks, data sharing, and coordination between intelligence agencies. While essential, this rigorous vetting process is inherently time-consuming and difficult to scale up to the level required for a World Cup. How do you maintain the highest security standards while simultaneously processing millions of applications efficiently? It's a delicate balance, and I don't envy the officials who have to strike it. Consider the fan experience itself. Part of the magic of the World Cup is the camaraderie and the spontaneous travel. The ability to follow your team on a whim if they unexpectedly advance. If crossing a border means a multi-hour wait, a separate customs check, and potentially a new visa stamp, that spontaneity is completely lost. Fans might be forced to choose only one host country to visit, severely limiting their ability to experience the full breadth of the tournament and the different cultures on offer. It transforms an exciting journey into a series of bureaucratic hurdles, which is the last thing anyone wants. What about the potential for exploitation? When visa processes are complex and demand is high, it creates an environment ripe for scams and fraudulent services. Unscrupulous individuals or agencies might prey on desperate fans, promising expedited visas or guaranteed entry for exorbitant fees, only to disappear with their money. We've seen this happen with other large events, and with 3 different visa systems to navigate, the potential for confusion and deception is amplified. It's a real concern for me, knowing how much passion and money fans invest in attending these tournaments. I've also been thinking about the role of FIFA in all of this. While FIFA sets the requirements for host nations, including provisions for visa facilitation, they don't have the power to dictate national immigration policy. They can push for concessions. They can advocate for simplified processes. But ultimately, the sovereign governments of the US, Canada, and Mexico hold the keys to their borders. FIFA's influence is significant, but it's not absolute. And I'm curious to see how much leverage they'll truly have in pushing for a truly seamless cross-border experience. So, what are the potential solutions, if any, that could alleviate this looming crisis? One idea that's been floated is a temporary, special World Cup entry stamp or digital authorization that, once approved by one of the host nations, would be recognized by the other 2 for the duration of the tournament. This would essentially create a temporary North American World Cup zone for fans. This would require an unprecedented level of cooperation and data sharing between the 3 governments, something that has historically been challenging even on less sensitive issues. Another possibility is a significant increase in consular staffing at embassies and consulates around the world, specifically dedicated to processing World Cup-related visas. This would help reduce processing times but wouldn't eliminate the need for separate applications or interviews for many. It's a partial solution, a band-aid rather than a cure. But it would certainly make a difference for those who are required to get traditional visas. I believe this is almost a necessity, regardless of other solutions. We could also see a tiered approach, where certain categories of visitors, like accredited media or team personnel, receive a streamlined, multi-country visa, while general fans still navigate the existing systems. This would address some of the operational challenges for the tournament itself, but would do little to ease the burden on the millions of ordinary fans who are the lifeblood of the World Cup experience. It's a pragmatic approach, but one that might leave many feeling frustrated. Precedents from other major events are worth considering. The Olympics, for example, often involve special visa arrangements for athletes and officials, but rarely for the general public in a multi-city or multi-country format like this. Previous World Cups in single host nations have seen visa waivers or simplified processes, but never across three distinct sovereign states with such complex relationships. This truly is uncharted territory, and I think that's why the concern is so high. I really believe the success of the 2026 World Cup, from a fan experience perspective and an economic one, hinges significantly on how these visa issues are addressed. If fans face insurmountable hurdles, the atmosphere will suffer, and the narrative will shift from a celebration of football to a story of bureaucratic frustration. This isn't just about convenience. It's about accessibility, inclusivity, and making sure that the global spectacle truly lives up to its name. We want fans from every corner of the world to be able to participate, not just those from visa-exempt countries or those with the resources to navigate complex international bureaucracy. The clock is ticking, and I haven't seen the kind of urgent, high-level, trilateral discussions and announcements on this specific issue that I would expect for something of this magnitude. We're only a few years out, and these kinds of agreements and system overhauls take a tremendous amount of time to plan, implement, and communicate effectively to the world. I'm hoping that behind the scenes, there are some serious conversations happening, because if not, we are heading for a truly chaotic and disappointing situation for many. My biggest fear is that the initial excitement and grand vision of a three-nation World Cup will be overshadowed by stories of fans denied entry, missed games, and endless queues at border crossings. This isn't just a minor detail. It's a fundamental challenge that could define the legacy of the 2026 tournament. We need clear, concise, and fan-friendly solutions, and we need them announced soon, so that people can start planning their trips with confidence. So, to circle back to our joke title, World Cup 2026 Visa Controversy Explained in 15 Seconds, I think you can now see why that's utterly impossible. This is a multifaceted, deeply entrenched issue involving national sovereignty, international relations, economic impact, and the dreams of millions of football fans. It's not something you can just gloss over. It demands a thorough, detailed, and proactive approach from all three host nations and from FIFA. I'm genuinely passionate about this because I want this World Cup to be an incredible success, a true celebration of the sport. But for it to be that, it has to be accessible. It has to be welcoming. And right now, the visa situation presents a very real and very significant roadblock to that vision. I'll be keeping a very close eye on any developments, and I promise to bring you updates as soon as we hear anything concrete. What do you all think? Are you planning to travel to the 2026 World Cup? Have you started thinking about the visa requirements? Are you optimistic that a unified solution will be found? Or are you preparing for a bureaucratic nightmare? Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your experiences and insights are invaluable, and I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative. Subscribe for more deep dives into the world of football, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. Thanks for sticking with me through this very long, very important discussion. I'll catch you in the next one.